السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري واشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين آمين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Inshallah, you are enjoying fasting and getting the barakah, receiving the barakah from blessings from your fasting, inshallah. And this month of Ramadan will be for all of us the month of Qur'an, inshallah, inshallah. The purpose of fasting is for getting engaged and having enough time and concentrating on our relationship with the Qur'an, inshallah, learning from the Qur'an. So we have been studying the section Yasin, 36th section of the Quran, and we studied up to 57, and there was somehow detailed explanation of the situation of the people who don't really believe in and rebel and reject the message of the Prophet, and then deserve what they have their share in this rejection. What is left with them? The pain in this world, spiritually experienced, and the pain in the next creation, this spirit will continue experiencing through the bodily engagement, if you like, how body is going to be used and utilized and employed to let the spirit not get satisfaction, and the pain will be for the person, of course. So, and then the subject changed, as the Quran always does, and makes this kind of shifting from one point to another, but they are related either as an expansion of the previous section, or if it is not only the extension of it, another aspect of it, another aspect which looks to another aspect of our life, in practical life, personal life, social life, economical life, political life, not the politics that today. I mean by politics means social administration of social concerns. It means administrational life, family life, family relationship, all these kind of things, or just presents the contrary position. If this is not the case, what is the alternative to it? These kind of combinations are always employed in the Quran everywhere. It is not a static teaching. We mentioned the wisdom in it is why the Quran does it this way, because it teaches the people from every aspect combined together, but the stages are different. So early stages of the revelation is different from the latest stages of the Medina life. So all sort of human life, individual and social life are concerned. They are all covered in the process of this stage. But this is not only a systematic stage that you will start from here and then there and then there, but all of them are combined together as you increase your belief in God and the hereafter. Accordingly, your social life, individual personal life will need to be adjusted to that level. And then if your belief it increased under the instruction and teachings of the Quran, then your social life what must be elevated to that level, and accordingly, the new introductions, new subjects, new aspects of the teachings are introduced to human beings. This is what the Quran is in a whole teaching. Quran is not only a specific way of teaching, that is why we see these kind of combinations of many different aspects of life in the context of the Quran altogether. Sometimes it seems to be the contextually, it seems to be not related, but in fact, if we understand that, for example, we human beings live in this world as we believe, as we learn, as we have experiences of life in this world, accordingly we live our life. So Quran doesn't teach the individual life first. How am I going to feel in my feelings? And after certain years, then let's start now. How am I going to arrange my family? That no, it doesn't work in this way in the teachings of the Quran. It's a holistic approach. As your understanding of the reality of belief matters within you, this understanding must be reflected in your family relationship, in your social relationship, in your relationship with the other people who may not share your belief with you, who may not be respectful or respectful, but be indifferent towards your life. They are all really perfectly arranged in the teachings of the Quran. So while we are reading the Quran, we have to be careful. Never think that Quran is jumping from one subject to another. And also, another subject that I previously didn't mention, there are many repetitions of the Quran, ayat, repetition, many. Why? While the Quran is speaking, I will give you an example. While the Quran is speaking about your relationship with your family, parents, children, and or neighbors, or in your social life, and how are we going to arrange your personal life, discipline your life, and it is needed to be reminded that why are you doing this? So the Quran turns the table and starts speaking about confident in your belief in God and the hereafter, and also prophetic mission. How are you going to really follow the prophetic exemplary life? Why? Because you are, don't forget, you are doing this in order to make your worshipful responsibility towards your God. It means perform your God. You are having a nice relationship with your family members, but for what? In order to obey the will of the Creator. He created you with this need, and you are performing it in His name, not in your name. I am a nice person. Everybody loves me in my family. No, it's not the point. The point is, my Creator has created me with the ability, with the capacity to be nice to my parents or family members or my children. That is why I am doing it, in order to obey God's will, not to be a famous man or a lovable person. I mean, if you want to be a lovable person, you don't have to be a believer in God and worshiper of God. You don't have to. So it brings the subject of description of the hereafter. Suddenly, while he is talking about our relationship with other people, or getting engaged in defense when there is an attack. So there is so surprising the repetitions we see in the Quran. They are all amazing, amazing. So we have to pay attention. Why the subject changed? We have to stop and see. Why the subject changed suddenly now here? As I was reading the Quran, let's say I am reading a page from the Quran, subject changed, and oh, it kept, for example, you see many verses already revealed in Meccan period, repeated while the Quran was speaking about the war conditions that the believers engaged in order to defend themselves from the people who want to kill them. Suddenly changes the subject to hereafter, suddenly changes the subject to believe and follow the prophetic mission. I think we have to understand these are not repetition. In this context, we need to remember, for example, yes, I'm being, for example, I am helping poor people. All right, okay. But suddenly it comes back that in the hereafter, you will be responsible for your properties. It means you have to do it in order to obey God's order, God's will, so that you will be rewarded because you obeyed, or you were given some of your properties, your financial means to poor people in order to practice your belief in God that these properties don't belong to me. This is for God's sake, not for my own spiritual satisfaction, that my human side will be satisfied. Yes, even the non-believers love being a charitable person. Of course, it is very human. But for what? Why? We have to question all this, inshallah. Okay, again, as usual, a long introduction, but these are needed. If we are going to read the Quran during Ramadan, inshallah, today is the first day of Ramadan. So uh, when you read it, let's say, I'm going to read today 10 pages from the Quran and also follow the translation, at least if I don't know the Arab. So, which is more likely for most of us. So we read the Quran, 10 pages, and read the translation. It is talking about from something, then something, and then repeating again the same thing. Why is that? There are lots of people having a problem about this aspect of the Quran. They don't understand because rightly, I'm not blaming them. They don't understand. I'm not saying they are ignorant or they are uneducated about Quran. No, I appreciate them because they are used to reading books, following chapter to chapter, chapter to chapter, and one subject. The Quran is the book of law. Quran is a book of ethics, morality. Quran is a book of sociology, especially. Quran is a book of psychology. Unbelievable, everything. Quran is a book of giving news about hype that we don't know. We cannot know if we are not informed of. We cannot know. The Quran is a book of everything, encompassing all aspects of life. That's why we cannot read a book, the Quran, as I am reading a biology book, sociology book, or a book about cosmology, a physics, or the discipline of physics. It is not like that. Feriha, go ahead. Sorry, I kept you waiting.
No, that was good. Thank you. I wanted to share something that you mentioned, and I felt it was very profound, where you said that any action we're doing, we have to really execute it to fulfill the purpose of our existence, because you know, this word of spiritual side, for example, if I do a good act, I'm like, yeah, my spirit is satisfied. I mean, that's very human. But actions in and of itself, this is what we do actions for. However, but it does not fulfill the purpose of its existence, which is really to communicate with the source of existence of this action, in terms of communicating with the creator of the universe, or communicating with the creator of this action, communicating with the creator of this good deed that I'm doing. Because I felt, I mean, it was a nice highlight for me, the spiritual side. We often use it very loosely. Oh, yeah, my spirit gets satisfied. But what does it mean for the spirit to get satisfied? The spirit can only get satisfied when it's communicating with the source of its existence. Otherwise, things are just left aloof here. If I'm just doing any act of goodness. So, for example, you give like giving the charity, for example, yeah, my spirit is satisfied. It's a good feeling, feels good. But like, for what? Feeling good, it must do something for myself, in terms of me communicating with the source of my existence about what the reality of this existence point to. And I am still reflecting on really taking this feeling good of the spirit, but by doing a good action to its ultimate source. I think that's, inshallah, what we need to work on.
Thank you. But when we do it in order to recognize our connection with the Creator, and really our duty is to fulfill our purpose of existence, which is to get in contact with the Creator and acknowledge Him and be a worshiper of Him. It means worshiping no one, nothing else but Him. It means even including our human satisfaction. But when we do that, it doesn't prevent us to be happy, to enjoy what we are doing, which is right. Of course, it enhances it, it increases it, increases it. How much you get satisfaction, not you, somebody who does, for example, a charitable activity. Okay, who does this activity in order to feel good? Yeah, he does. He or she does. That's absolutely legitimate, the way we are created. This is the way we are created. So he gets the satisfaction, spiritual satisfaction. How much? He says, okay, I will be satisfied until I die, or today I will be happy, tomorrow let's see. Temporary, transient. Now, if this person is using his human capacity fully, if he does it in the name of the creator, owner of this property, the creator of his feelings, how does he feel? Oh, I am acknowledging my owner, the owner of my property, the owner of my feelings, and I am doing it in his name. So he will be the one who will preserve my actions, not me, not my memory, or not my video recordings. Until I died, my video recordings means nothing to me. But if I do it as my creator is recording, and it is with him, he is absolute, he is infinite. So my pleasure becomes, if you like, multiplied by infinity. Infinite. Why? He is with him. I'm not going to be forgotten. The owner of the universe is keeping my record, not my telephone video recordings. And when I die, they will throw it, the telephone, or the photographs of the people who have enjoyed many things, giving a big check, and the journalists come and take his film and show it on the TV, old times TV. Now they share it on the social media means. All this social media, there are many ways of sharing it with other people. Nowadays, not only TV news programs. Now they do it. And what happened 100 years ago? The people had their videos. What happened to them? Gone. Finish. No one. Who remembers? Who cares? Even in some cases, may God forbid, for us, your children don't remember. They don't care. They care their own children. And when they die, their children don't care about them. That is how the universe is created, in order to really deep down in our feelings understand that to live in this world, in order to satisfy our life only in this world, is nothing. Pointless. Inshallah, we will remember this. Okay. Khidr says, okay, this is what I understand from the discussion so far. What I do has to fulfill the purpose of my existence, which is, thank you, Khidr, thank you, it's going very well, acknowledging my connection with my Creator, the owner of my feelings and actions, as a means to enhance my worship to Him alone, preserving my life long feelings and actions with Him, yeah, eternally. Exactly. Thank you. It's excellent. Yeah, do this kind of interactions as Feriha and Khidr did. So you are friends. So I'm expecting you also contribute, other friends here. Okay, I am going back to the verse we were supposed to study today. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Lahu fiha fa'akihatu wa lahu ma yatta'un, in paradise. The people are in paradise now. Let me see this. So, inna ashab al-jannati fi shughulin fakihun. On this day, the inhabitants of paradise shall be wholly taken up with joy. And this is the introduction of the people of paradise. And, sorry, let me see. هم وأزواجهم في ظلال على الأرائك متكئون. And they and their spouses with their pairs seated on couch in the shade. I mean, they're paired with their second half. The second half is sitting on their couches. We discussed this, what it means in the shade, what shade represents. We did all this, studied. لهم فيها فاكهة ولهم ما يدعون. We didn't cover this. So there they will have fruits and whatever they desire. And whatever they desire, not only fruits. But my question is, why does the Quran keeps mentioning fruits in order to describe His blessings to the people of paradise in the hereafter? Very frequently He does this. Why fruits? Why not other things? Mostly fruits, and of course there is description of river running under the palaces. Now, Question. Why specifically fruit? Any thought? Whatever you can imagine and think, please share. Okay, Faria? Each
I,
page was that.
I would
Okay.
say fruits are directly coming from the soil. There's no much human interference. It's really pretty much created things that we find in existence. It's not that I'm baking a cake, but it's something that's being brought into existence. So just my take on it.
Thank you. Each page, let's hear you.
One aspect of it that I was thinking about was the fruit of a tree, for example, is the end point or the sweetest part. It's what it looks to, right? So it's kind of like the epitome or the end point of something or the most matured stage of something. So kind of experiencing the greatest stages of different fruits or of different I guess human um abilities perhaps.
Yeah, without interfering this. Yeah. Just freely prepared, packed. Yes. And please go ahead.
Oh, it's definitely what um our two friends said. And I would also add that fruit is for me, a kind of symbol of food that is so delicious and so beautiful. Um, so I think it conjures up, you know, beautiful images. There's so many different kinds of fruit and they all look so delicious. So for me, fruits is a kind of symbol for all kinds of delicious food.
Yeah, it means most enjoyable ones. And also it doesn't need much human labor. Every year you have to recultivate, for example, other vegetables. But if uh, Allah creates one tree, that's it. You don't have to do much. It roots goes down and it lives maybe 40, 50 years and every year keeps producing. And another extension to what all our friends said, wonderful comments, alhamdulillah. So there is another comment here. Asim says, like a jewel that attracts my attention. Yeah, it means, as Anne said, beautiful. There are many different kinds of fruits. Many. You know, we can say, for example, how many kinds of beans? Let's say 10 all over the world. How many kinds of fruit? And some of them are sweet, some of them are sour, some of them are have different kinds of taste. Most of them smell perfectly, and all of them are decorated. Amazing, and no human labor as our friends. That is amazing. No human labor has got involved in it. That is quite interesting. That's why I feel that all the answers are most appropriate to the subject, mashallah. All right. The second question, paradise is always described in the Quran in terms of this world. Why do you think it does this? Not, why? Since the prophetic saying narrates that you cannot imagine paradise. It is beyond imagination. And we keep repeating in our discussions here on Hamim discussions, Hamim site, saying, stating that it will be a completely different kinds of creation, and we cannot imagine. Okay, Why doesn't he give a fabulous description of paradise in a way that we can use our imagination to understand? Rather than this, Quran gives a very, very substantial examples that we are experiencing in this world. Of course, the fruit is the best. Water, running waters. Yeah, we see them here. Yeah. And beautiful palaces. Okay. And also very loving couples or pairs or your second half. So descriptions are here, and they are all in terms of this word. Why in this word only? There is no description that which is not represented in this word in the Quran, as far as I remember. Please. Why in terms of this word? And Foucault.
Well, this is the only world we know, and we can't go beyond. If something is very comfortable and very beautiful and always makes us happy, we only know it from what we understand of this particular world. So that's the only way you could understand a different world, is through those images that we're already familiar with.
Yes, we cannot really use or understand if it is not described in the conditions of this world. Exactly. But we have to understand as compared to another interesting aspect of the Quran. Although we cannot, we know that the prophetic teaching says you cannot imagine the next creation, all right? But still Quran gives examples from this world, exactly in the same way. It is very interesting. I found it very interesting what I'm going to tell or share with you. Quran describes God's attributes, which is called in the Quran Esma'ul Husna, God's names. It is usually translated as beautiful names, but beautiful names of God, but it is not a right translation, really. Although people keep repeating it because it is common usage. Husna is not only beauty. Husn is beauty. Hasan, Ahsan, Husn, the meaning. Husna is the form of beauty which is hyperbolized. Am I pronouncing it rightly? Hyperbole, which is unimaginably beauty. It means unimaginably beautiful means perfections, perfect qualities, perfect beauty, beautiful, but it means perfections of God. Beautiful names really means perfections of God's qualities. So whatever, it is not the point. But just on the beautiful name, the people, when you say to people who are not familiar with the Islamic literature, beautiful names is, oh, beautiful name. What do you mean by beautiful name? For example, isn't my name beautiful? What do you mean by it? They understood the name of a person or something. That is why I don't prefer this one. Perfections of God's qualities, I prefer. It's more appropriate to the culture also who speak English, the culture of the people who speak English. All right. But my point is not this. This is important. All the beautiful, perfect qualities of God, as known beautiful names of God, described in terms of human feelings. Says, I am the most merciful. We say, yeah, I know what mercy is. I am the more compassionate. Yeah, I know what it means. I am the one more forbearing. I experienced this. I am the one most powerful. Well, I know what power is. I am the one who is rich, ghani, rich. I know some people are rich, yeah. Although I'm not, but I know what it is. All of the names of God introduced with the adjectives familiar with our feelings. Why? As Anne explained rightly, thank you, we thank her for this explanation. Otherwise, we wouldn't really relate it to ourselves if they were introduced in a way that we are not familiar with. If they were introduced. So if I don't feel at all what kind of quality it is, how can I appreciate it, let alone how can I confirm that this is really true? Because the best and simple understanding of the name is merciful. Yeah, I am merciful. God says, I am not only merciful, I am the most merciful. I know, yeah. My mercy extends only, let's say, sometimes, if I am in a good mood, to some people close to me, this kind of thing. Or I hear some things about some poor people, and if I don't hear them, I don't know what's going on the other sides of the world, although it is not the case nowadays, but before, yes. Well, still, I might not know what is going on in family life of my neighbor. I don't know. Really, I don't know which kind of problems they have, so that I will be helpful to them. I have no idea, and I cannot ask them, knocking at their door and they say, "Do you have any problem?" No, I don't. I cannot do that unless they expose it to me. I will try to extend my mercy to them as much as I can, but there's a limit. So everybody, 6 billion people are experiencing this mercy in their life according to their living conditions. And also all over the universe, we see that the creation is taking place in a very merciful way that I can understand who my owner is, who is the owner of this universe. I can understand this. So it is created in such an understandable way that I don't feel alien to the universe. On the contrary, I feel very homely with this universe. So it is just a mercy for me so that I can understand who my owner, who the owner of this universe is. So that is essential that the Quran should give examples from a word which is experiential to me so that I can really relate to myself and it should resonate to me. It should. That is how the Quranic teaching sometimes seems to be very simple. Yes, it does. Very simple. So God's, for example, when God rejects some people, your actions are completely rejectable and disgusting. And he says, I'm going to punish you here. He describes this punishment in terms of physical appearance of the world. The earthquakes, strong storms, so heavy rain that causes flood and takes everything away, volcanoes, tsunamis, descriptions of it. Incredible that we are all experiencing this kind of creation. That is why we should appreciate the simplicity of the Quran, because Quran is not a science book. No, Quran speaks to everyone, not only to specialists. Everybody at every time of their life, they should experience what the Quran is talking about, and it must be ready, available for them to confirm its reality. Otherwise, Quran says something, but I don't know, I don't understand. I have to study cosmology to understand this. No, very simple. I created the world in 6 days, as if he's talking about the day. The day is the result of the rotation of the earth around the sun, or rotation of its around itself. But universe is being started, or God started to create the universe in 6 days. There was no day. What are you talking about? When the universe is started at the beginning. It means, as you understand the unit of time, as simple as possible in terms of day. Even we cannot talk about hour, because we have the clocks. Now we talk about hour. Before the discovery of the clock, how can you say hour, minute, second? No, there is no such concept. Now we have it. The Quran was revealed 1400 years ago, and in the course of time, still we have this time concept wrongly, saying that day is 24 hours. No, day in the Quran means the simplest language to understand the time unity or criterion of time, the day. So you can use it in a fraction of a second, day, even from the beginning of the creation of the universe to the end of the creation, existence of the universe. Quran says in one day, in when it is 1 unit of time. So we have to understand in which context the term day is used, related to that term, that it takes with a limited period of time which has a beginning and an end. Beginning and an end. For me, after I die, I will reach the day of the hereafter. For me, it is a beginning. And God says, this day has no end. But you understand, day means it starts at a certain point as far as you are concerned. These are interesting points to understand the Quran. Although we are not studying many verses today, but I understand that these principles of reading the Quran is needed, especially during Ramadan, because we are expected to get engaged heavily with the Quran during this month, inshallah. I am continuing. If there is no further comment and question? If there is, please go ahead. No? Okay, I'm going. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, very good news. Salamun qawlan min Rabbir Rahim. Peace will be a greeting from a merciful Lord, compassionate Lord, whose mercy is infinite. Rahim, not Rahman, Rahim, because it is taking place in the hereafter, and hereafter is the eternal existence. It needs eternal manifestation of mercy, which is represented in the Qur'an with the word Rahim, not Rahman. I mean, coming from the same root verb, but the form changes the meaning. Rahman is how it is manifested in the word mercy. That is Rahman. Everybody gets equal mercy according to their share in the creation, regardless of their belief, regardless of their respect to the prophetic message or disregard it. It's not important. Rahmah is distributed equally to everyone until we die. After we die, Rahim is going to manifest. It means never, never ending mercy of God, never ending compassion of God. So this is what the word says, although it is translated as merciful Lord, I would say eternally merciful Lord or eternal mercy of Lord. This kind of change needs grammatically, but this is very practical usage of it. So I'm not criticizing the translator, but I'm just emphasizing the difference between these two words, although coming from or derived from the same root word letter. So peace will be greeting from a merciful Lord. Oh, it is interesting. Now, what is the significance of merciful Lord is greeting with us, with peace? It means, what do you understand? Please, think about it and just share what comes to your mind. Peace will be greeting from a merciful. Okay, Feriha, go ahead.
Perhaps a common ground in terms of, hey, I provided you with all this. Did you acknowledge me? Oh, yes, you did. So something that's reciprocal. So if I, as the receiver, I'm appreciative and I'm acknowledging the real source of existence of everything, my creator, the merciful Lord, like where I'm able to recognize the source of existence of where the mercy is coming from, then there's like a two-way communication in terms of, hey, well done, peace, peace, right? I don't know, I'm just giving it a shot. So
it means appreciation of what I have done, right?
yes.
So thank you, thank you. Yes, of course, definitely included in the meaning as far as I understand. Let's hear what Afshan will say.
I was going to say that the significance is that the peace will be like the ultimate reward. No stress, no anxiety, no sadness. This is how I see it. Ultimate reward.
Yeah. That's correct. Let's, but these are all correct and excellent contribution to the meaning. Let's emphasize on, for example, not from your parents, not from your friends, but this greeting and peace is declared from a merciful Lord. It means owner of our owner of the hereafter. Owner of the hereafter comes and say, oh, welcome, peace. But now, coming from the merciful Lord, that is see the significance of it from this perspective. Although what you both said was absolutely within the context of the content of the verse, but what's the specifically the peace declaration we receive, inshallah, in paradise from the merciful Lord of the hereafter? I am adding this, or this word, the next word. Let me share my feelings while we are thinking. For example, if I am walking in a dark street, or maybe street, maybe somewhere else, I don't know what's going on around me, I don't see, and somebody is approaching me, of course, a little bit, I start feeling unrest. Why? I don't know who is this person, or whether he's a nice person or not, but he says, peace. I understand this person is declaring peace between me and him. But does it mean that this person's declaration of peace for me or between us, I'm not going to have another trouble with another person or with an animal or something else? It doesn't secure my life. But if the owner of this whole land that I'm living, example, says to me, I'm giving the example of myself, Ali, you will be in peace in this land. I am the owner of it. Everything is under my control. I don't have any other agent. Everything is directly realized and executed by me. And I am declaring peace between me and you. Is there any fear left in me? That is significant. This declaration from God, oh, from the owner of the universe, secured my life from the beginning to the end, in every conditions, every moment. That is why the second part explains singular form of the word selamun means, I will explain to you, just to have a general idea why selamun means such a peace that you cannot imagine. This selamun means literally, although linguistic it is not correct, a peace. Now, peace is a piece, two pieces. We cannot talk about it. But English language-wise, but Seeing a piece. So I will give you an example. For example, I ate a fruit today. I have a fruit today, which was amazing, delicious. What I mentioned to refer to one fruit, but this fruit can be what? Every fruit. Whatever the fruit you can imagine, I may be referring to all of them. But which one? That is with me. But as far as you are concerned, as a listener or reader is concerned, as a piece, a fruit, means every possible fruit included in the meaning of a fruit, not number one fruit. It means one fruit, not necessarily. I am referring to a to two fruits, two kinds of fruit at the same time. No, I ate a fruit today, so you cannot imagine how beautiful it is. So it encompasses the meaning of all fruits here. If I say to my friend and say, for example, make it a very general statement, oh, my friend Muhammad, you know, I ate the fruit. What do I mean? The fruit, you and I know, that's it, not others. The fruit. It means the fruit you gave me yesterday. The fruit that you know I bought today. This kind of one, but not Assalamu qawlan min Rabbir Rahim. No, Salamun qawlan min Rabbir Rahim. What a wonderful salam that you cannot imagine, you cannot describe. Peace from your Creator. It is infinite. Infinite. That is in this form, Salamun in this form has infinite meaning of peace. If I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, you and I is interacting in such a way that there will be peace that you and I know that we are going to treat each other in a peaceful way. So that is why if I say that if the verse was said, Assalamu alaikum, it would be from another person, not from God. Salamun qawlan min Rabbir Rahim. You know, peace in every aspect. Whatever imagine you think that you may need peace, it will be from the owner, the Lord of this new creation. That is what I understood from this verse as well. So these are, I don't know whether you prefer to have this kind of extended subjects included in studying the certain verses, or shall we concentrate on the verses only? Which one do you prefer? If you have any preference. Anne?
Well, I prefer the sort of the in-depth look at the linguistic aspect of the words, such as you just described with a piece, and never ever would have occurred to me, ever. And it changes the meaning substantially. It makes it so much more powerful. So for me, I love the details, especially as they relate to the linguistics of the word.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your preference. So anybody else who have another suggestion? Now, what I will do, so there is no, I think it is time for iftar. So everybody says, come on, stop. So wherever I found that this is important in order to understand the Quran, we are not going to study Arabic. No, it is not my purpose at all. In order to understand the Quran so that I will relate the Quran to my life, I will, if as much as I know, I mean, I know means I learn from others, from scholars. As much as I know, when I see that this needs, as I felt here, salamun, yeah, this needs some specific, especially mentioning here, then I will share it with you. If you think later on change your mind and anyone here say, no, just we have to know what generally the verse is studying, I am happy with that one as well. Okay, I shouldn't keep your iftar late. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة